And before I get too far ahead of myself, I should say that this is where I ended up actually getting the LEDs. I actually bought them from a store initially, and that's where I got the wrong ones. So I checked my eBay purchase history, and yeah, I got them from eBay. And I specifically got 3mm, and I don't remember exactly why that is. I believe it's because a tutorial somewhere I said, okay, well, here we go. 3mm common cathode. This is not the tutorial I originally read when I was buying all this stuff, but hey, it looks like, well, you know, I haven't read this one, so I'm not going to speak to it. Yeah, look at that. Do I have to? Hey, look, I was going to be stupid. Kind of glad I looked at this. I don't have to take the whole thing apart. This front plate comes off. That is awesome to know. All right. Well, I guess I'm going to get fighting with that. Let's see what happens. You guys out of the way. Take you to the bag. And since this isn't going to be just outright disassembly, let's fight with it and see what happens. You know what, and after my whole big spiel about how I was going to remember which leg was which color on the LED, not a clue. I don't remember a thing about it. It's been a little while since I've been filming, and that has mostly to do with the fact that I lost momentum over the holidays, and it's been really cold here. So I have been less likely to want to come out to my, we'll call it studio, which is a little room in my garage. And like I said, it gets really cold. All right, so to remove this, honestly, it should. Oh, yeah, let's take the cords out of the back. Always a wise decision. This is supposed to actually pop up here. Oh, let me see. Man, it's one of those things that just doesn't feel right to do. Whoop. Okay. Let's take the drives out. Why the heck not? I don't have the motherboard screwed in either. Ow. Oh, yeah. My left. Makes this the SATA adapter kind of nice for being able to get the hard drive out, because you just unplug this one piece from the back of the hard drive, and then pull the whole unit. But anyway, let's see. Now, in other news, I kept having trouble with this DVD drive, and that's even after I did my whole cleaning and thought I was so smart and fancy. And so we have a local guy in town who sells old, what do they call them? I call it the junk store, but that's not, well, we'll go junk store. Anyway, he had an old Xbox there, so I said, well, you know what? I'll buy another one. Maybe I'll get one that's a different version. It'll be interesting to compare them a little bit. And so I bought that Xbox, brought it home, and lo and behold, it's still a version 1.0 Xbox, which means I have, through mine and, I have 4 of those kicking around. I've got my original one that I just couldn't bring myself to modify. Then I've got the one I bought for this project, which we're currently staring at. It just doesn't feel right. No, but you can see the tabs in there, so. And then, let's see. Then there's one I bought my father, which I have here. He's soft modded, but he wants me to do the TSOP flash for him. And then we have the new one that I just bought. So yeah, 4 version 1.0 Xboxes. And considering it went all the way up through version 1.6, I just, kind of find it amazing that I keep getting all these version 1.0s. Maybe it's just because everybody who got the 1.0 with the Thompson DVD drive didn't want to keep it because they're flaky. So, yes, I got the unit home, somewhat untested. I got a decent deal on it and hooked it up. Man. And lo and behold, the DVD drive didn't work. And I thought, okay, maybe I'll get lucky this time. Maybe it will be just a cleaning, even though that didn't work out so well for me last time. And so I took the DVD drive apart to clean it, and there was a Q-tip jammed inside it. Like someone else had tried to clean it and done, I think they did it with the unit plugged in with the door open, and they bumped the end and it closed and yanked the Q-tip out of their hand. So I pulled the Q-tip out, did a cleaning since I was already there, put it back together, and it worked very well. It actually seems to be the best out of all my Xboxes, the best DVD drive out of the bunch. Still a Thompson, so we'll see how that holds. But more to the point on all of this, I have been getting a lot of great feedback from everybody who's been watching the videos. I don't know if anyone's... I haven't gotten any negative feedback, so I guess we'll go with lots of great feedback. And some, gave me the idea to try... Wow, this is some really bad filming on my part. Now I've got all these comparable Xboxes. Let's try, build a couple out differently, different BIOSes, that sort of thing. See how it feels. Then I can do some direct comparisons between them and not, have to try and rely on my memory as to, oh, well, this feels better than the last BIOS. Or these settings seem a little better, because then I can just directly compare, oh, see, look at that. I go to take that clip off. It's the front plate. The one I don't need to take apart. Yeah. Part of the other thing that slowed me down is on making this video is that I very much wanted to get a really good, zoomed in view for top down, and that way for soldering, that sort of thing. And I have not found a good solution for that. So I'm back to what I had before. My same cheap webcams. Wow. Well, I think this has gone on almost long enough. Holy crud. So yeah, same cheap webcams, same plan. I did find some software that's called DigiControl, and with a DSLR camera, specific models, you can actually hook it up USB to your computer and stream from the camera. And I believe that'll allow you to do a stream with a zoom in, so I can get a nice close-up shot without having to have the camera sitting right here like I was doing with this guy, to be able to get a nice close-up shot. It's in the way. The other thing I did was I bought one of those super cheap, what are they called? Oh, that was this camera. Cell phone lens kits. And I must have knocked it on the floor because I don't see where it is right now. But it had a macro lens, which if I put it on this webcam, and it fits right over the front, over the camera portion right there, I actually get much better zoomed in images and I don't get the frame delay that I was getting out of this guy. So, if that's enough of a non sequitur, I suppose. Okay. Yeah, you just got to pry harder than feels comfortable. I hate doing that. But then again, I guess seeing as how I've purchased a ghost case for this mod, which is one of the clear cases, and I've also now purchased another Xbox. I don't need to be as beholden to this case as I was going to try and be. You know, this one has cracked and broken pieces, so it was obviously dropped or fell at some point. A little bit of a dent there. Can't see it. Yeah, you can see it better that way. Alright, so prying those at the side. The sides are free. Now let's see. And just kind of rotating out, but I still feel something grabbed there. I wonder. It feels like the USB ports. Feels like the USB ports are still screwed in. This side moves much more freely. Yeah, those have to be screwed in. Okay. And I kept these right over here. I guess I could have read that tutorial I found online. I don't know. I get bored with reading sometimes, and I find that if I just dig in and exercise a moderate amount of self-control, I can usually figure things out, get them apart, and not break them. We'll see if that holds true for today. Actually, I don't need to yank that out. I just need to get the screws out, which I have done. Try not to lose them. And yeah, that was the trick. So that's clear. And it looks like the wire, you have to unplug it from this side and feed it out through the hole, because I don't see any way to get in there to, it might unplug from the back side, but I don't have a clear view of it. So this is me exercising self-control. All right, we got that guy out. So now it's just a matter of unclipping the board here. Yeah, I think those are, yeah, not a good angle, but it doesn't look like the wire comes off this side. Okay. Let's get the cam I didn't want to use. Alright, pointing at the back side here, there's this little tab, and I think we can push that sucker in to release this. There it goes. Let's try not to put too much pressure on it. I did forget to mention the other thing that's really been slowing me down on this project is my addiction to Elder Scrolls Online. That really gets in the way of doing anything, I won't say productive, because I really enjoy it, so it feels productive. But at the end of the day, you don't have much to show for it. Alright, so, we'll use our little macro cam here. There's a blurry shot. Can we get a better angle? So, it looks like these wires punch in. They're just crimped in there. So, yeah, I definitely don't want to yank those out of this side. There's our little LEDs. There's the power button. So, LED 1, LED 2, and so we got to remove those guys. Oh, okay. Yeah, my really fancy filming rig here. I thought the camera I was having to reach to the back edge of the table because the tape, yeah, I'm literally using packing tape to hold the camera up, is coming loose. And here's the little macro lens that I had for this guy. Yeah, I'll give it a try. I'll show you. It just clips on like that. Definitely low budget. Okay, if you go from the side, what the heck? Okay, evidently from that edge. Let's switch to that camera, which is it macro mode now? Nope, wrong camera. Monitor. Okay, that's this guy. Really, grainy, but when you get in close, you can really get detail. I must not have very good lighting going right now because I had much better detail coming off this earlier. But you'll notice I'm not getting the frame delays that I was getting out of the other one. And you can get in really close there. But it's still a lower resolution webcam as well. I was going to try and fit this on the higher resolution cameras, but it doesn't really clip, and so that means I'd have to unglue and glue or find some way to secure the little lens. Having this little clip is kind of a nice feature at the moment. It can just come off if I don't want to use it. Okay, back to the task at hand. Got those guys, and you know what? Let's kick back to the tutorial here. Save myself some time. There's the LEDs. Yep, we desolder them from the backside. That makes sense. Okay. Oh, and I guess they're switched. Yeah, that makes sense. So, normal is on the top for LED 2, and air state is on the bottom, and the opposite for LED 1. Okay. Well, let's see if I can successfully solder these guys, or desolder. Have my soldering iron sitting over here going for a while now. Oh yeah, got that little, keep forgetting about you, and never can get it quite positioned the way I want. Okay, I had a pair of pliers around here in the hopes that I would not burn my fingers. I bought a whole thing of different needle nose pliers, and now I can't find them. So we will grab this LED with these pliers. Oh, there we go. I always move in the opposite direction. And do I have it? I have it. And flip it over. Take this off. I dropped it already. Interesting. I'll share. The back coating here is just that. It's not part of the board. It's been added on. You can see when you look down the little corner there where we've got the M1, what is that? Oh, MISX. But when you flip up and look here at the LEDs, you can see even better, and if I get it in the picture, that it's actually cut out underneath the LED, the circuit board itself. I'm going to lean this up. Maybe that'll give a better, since I don't care about. So that allows the lip on the LED. Can I hold that to get it? This lip around the edge fits in and allows the LED to lay flat. Interesting. All right. So, yeah, make this easier on myself. Let's fold them both up. So, I could just tear them off and get the pins out. That doesn't seem like a very nice thing to do, though. Okay. Yeah, I really do need to find a better way to shoot close-up stuff, because there we go. That's what I want, is this side right here. So yeah, I've got the LED, but I don't have a way to pry up on and get my really cheap Radio Shack soldering iron in there. I don't have a way to pull these things apart. And still moving in the wrong direction. I swear the camera's not aimed there, but you know, one of the ways to desolder something when the solder is sticking is to actually add a little solder to it. I think I've said this before, but none of this knowledge that I'm sharing or experience is obtained firsthand. I mean, I learned from others and am sharing. So I don't get to claim to be so smart as to have figured all these things out on my own. I also evidently don't get to claim to be so smart as to have prepared to keep the solder close enough to where I could find it easily. That stuff's a little thick. Let's go with the thinner. My lighting really is getting bad in here, isn't it? Okay. Oh, and I do have to be careful about this because I still need to use this board. And that plastic coating on the back is melting a little bit. Where's my core? I don't know if this is focused as I wanted it. Alright, so that's not really working. I'll go to the old standby of pushing down on the pins with the iron. That I'm pretty sure is not a proper technique, but it's what I've got. Well, this is getting a little frustrating. I had some solder wick. I wonder where that is. I actually set up to do this video a couple hours ago, and it's just taken me this long to get everything set up. I had to redo my little production facility here, and I'm sorry if I'm getting everything out of shot. I'm staring at the board, not the screen. Okay, I got it more out and very unfocused. So it's pretty flat back here. I should be able to go across this part and oh yeah, definitely out of shot. And if I could pull on the other side, be a great time for some helping hands. I do have a little vise thing. I am going to go get my vise. Alright, I skipped the vise idea because if I hold... Oh, my tape's coming undone again. Awesome. I need a better system for that too. I was going to get a camera mount and actually make a more permanent fixture up there. So if I can hold it with my hand, I can also push off of the board. So it's just a matter of burning my fingers for a couple seconds. Put that out here. Got my pressure in there. So because the LED is mostly out, I guess if I'm going to spend money, ow, that was hot still, so yeah, I am going to burn myself. If I'm going to spend the money, I really should get a proper soldering iron, I guess, because this is, you know, this one's got one spot on it that properly heats and melts solder, and it's not really its fault. I abused it, but then again, it wasn't the greatest soldering iron to begin with. This might be turning into a circuit board repair video, because in getting in there and fighting around with that, can I get a good shot of it here? You know what? Let's use the other cam. Seems to get a better shot. So that was this one. Here we go. Oh, come on. Yeah, well, if the footage went so grainy. I'm moving in the wrong direction? No. Alright. If you look at the one closest to the edge, the pin, oh, that is a little too close. Pull it back a little. I have pulled the pad off. So the part where the LED makes the connection to the circuit once it's soldered is gone. I don't know how I did that, but evidently I was too rough with it. So a better solution might have been to cut the pins and pull them through from the bottom, since they don't solder on the top. This did have better. Just must be lighting the issue. Okay, if I get out of shadow, it's a little better looking. There we go. Still grainy, but yeah, to me it looks like I pulled that pad out of there, which means I need to now, when I put the new LED in, bridge back to the copper trace if I can. Otherwise, I might have just disabled one color for this side, which kind of stinks. I will continue to fight with this guy, and I will see you in a minute. Alright, I got the other LED out. You can see the remnants there. That one came out better than the previous one. I think on the last one I was stroking the end of the iron across, and that's probably how I took the pad out. You can see the melting on the plastic cover here. Whoop. Yeah, there's my demo finger. And then I can understand why this plastic covering's here, because this thing goes in the front of the Xbox here, like so. So, you know, if it gets pushed too hard, the pins can, these pins on the back can contact the RF shielding and create shorts. At least that's my theory. This is really a pretty straightforward circuit board. You know, we've just got a grounding plane, and then the pins for the LEDs and the power. I mean, let's see, grounding plane should be one, maybe two wires. A switch. Each switch only needs one wire. You know, judging from the traces that you can see through from this side. So there's, let's say, ground, one switch, two switches, and then the LEDs should each have two wires, so that's four. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we got two extra. I wonder what they are for. I could see there being another ground, and there could probably be a well, good question. But I'm sure if I searched it online, someone else has already come up with the answer to that. Okay. This is our bag of LEDs. Leave the one taped to the outside, what the heck. It's really sad. My best camera, I'm cheap and I'm using webcams, is the one built into the laptop that I'm filming this on, and that's the problem, is it's on the laptop, so it's, you know, I'd have to work basically on top of my keyboard and I really, really like that laptop, so I'm not going to do that. All right. As I said, I did not make note of which direction is the correct, which direction is which color on these LEDs. I also don't have them in shot again. Oh, here. Well, there we go. So, let's see. Is there a flat side on this? Typically, LEDs have a flat side, but that's on the two leg ones to indicate the anode versus the cathode. But because this one has the center common cathode, in essence, this is like having two different LEDs built into one package. So that's why it's called a common cathode, because it's, the cathode shared between the two different LEDs. Okay. Yeah. So the one on this side out here is the longer one. Whoop. And it is the red. So red is our longer. And when we, and there's our blue. Ooh. The red doesn't look very red. At least not on the camera. Okay, so the longer leg is the red. Let's look back at our tutorial. Remote this. Here we are. And so on LED 2, which is, so LED 2, the top one's the green, the bottom one's the red. LED 1, the top one's the red. So our longer leg is going to go on what I'm calling the top side on LED 1, and on the bottom side of LED 2, which is unfortunate because if we get back to that, that I may have ruined the circuit board. The blue is the top pin. Okay, so this will go this way, and I was going to fit them. Oh, darn. Yeah, okay. I'm just going to have to reach to the end of the table and live with it. So I was going to fit them in and then bend them over because, I don't know, I guess I could do that, trusting that nah, I don't trust myself to do it. So I'm going to put them through, then bend them over, and then I can clip the legs off the back. But I think if I try to pre-bend them, I'm going to end up getting them bent at different sizes. Now, the other thing I need to take into consideration here is getting that connection remade here. Let's see, maybe I can get a better picture on the other camera again, as I was hoping before, because if I can get a really good clear shot of this, I can show. That's the edge. Lost focus. You can kind of see it there on the top edge where the trace comes into the pad there. There's some exposed copper. And so if I can just get that bridged to the leg, I'll be okay. It looks really bad when you get zoomed in this far, but it's not that bad in real life. I mean, as far as the melted plastic, seeing around the edge there. But yeah, you can see the light reflecting off the copper trace that I can't get into focus or into the middle of the shot. Good Lord, am I bad at this. There we go. Why is that so hard to do? Move this one. There we go. Okay, for like the 15th time. So yeah, if I can make it bridge to that, then I should be able to get this to work. And who knows, I'm hoping I'll have a easier time making that bridge by keeping the legs longer. Okay, we'll start with this one. once again, LED 2, longer leg on the bottom side. You know, the longest leg goes in the center, of course, but the longer leg goes on the bottom side. So I'm trying to line up the legs here. This, yeah, refer to a professional because I am definitely being hacky here. But I'm pushing the first, in essence, what I'm going to do is, I mean, you can't see it at all, is I've got the legs somewhat lined up, and I'm going to melt the solder because the holes weren't clear, so that I can push this through and get the one leg lined up, and then I'll be able to get the other two legs lined up at the holes and push them through, and who knows, I might end up doing more damage. This will be intriguing. Okay, well, I'll share what I got so far. Okay, I'll attempt to share in a very blurry manner. Got two of the legs through. Am I even? No, there it is. And the third leg's not in yet, but that's what I'm going to work on. Oh, I wonder if I can do it like this. Putting the heat there. I'm kind of using the LED. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Got it through. They all slid well. So let's put the soldering iron somewhere safe. They're kind of free sliding at the moment. The LED. Whoop. And it stops right there. Well, we'll push it down. Okay. Still blurry. I'd make that the main camera, but it's just going to be just as blurry. We'll scoot everything back here, so top view. And let's push this guy over. Time to line it up. There we go. So I've got it lined up with the groove there in my blurry shot. So it should be sitting flat like the other one was for the most part. I think that's as flat as it's going to go. And now I just need to solder them on the back side here and hope I can make all the connections. And the nice part about this is because the LED's on the other side, I can push it like that and solder using the table to hold the LED in place. Although I might be overestimating my ability to push down on this while feeding solder. But if I throw something heavy on it, excellent theory, horrid in practice. Let's see. I can just get a little solder to stick to the iron, push it down. Dab it in there, hope it flows. Looks like it got it from this angle. And that one's not looking as good. And bridging between the two and then releasing the pressure, and my, oh no, LED's still in good shape. Man, I'm a hacky solderer at this point. So this, okay. See if we can get a good shot of this. Yeah, so I got solder gobbed on there for those two legs, and then the last leg I'm gonna bend back over that copper that I want to get the bridge on. So I've got it bent back like that, and I'm hoping I'll make the connection there. Might be some wishful thinking, especially because I need to get the solder under the leg that I'm bending over it. There was some exposed copper, but it doesn't I don't know that it was enough. I think I might actually need to sand it and get some more copper going. But what I am going to do is I'm going to trim the other two legs off in blurry detail. There's one. And there's two. I don't mind screwing up the what's it called? The LED, because hey, I've got 100 of them. This only takes 2. That gives me, I think, 50 tries. And that's assuming I screw up both. So now if that trace is bad, I can follow it back. Yeah, so if the trace is bad, I can actually use my what's it called, multimeter, and follow it back to the wire over here. So I have a lot of ability to fix that still. It would have been better if I had not pulled the pad off. That's always the best solution. And I don't want to necessarily get in there and get soldering because, or get sanding, to try and reveal more copper, because it's such a small chunk, and I'm more likely to get the solder mask off of the what's it called? Off of the grounding plane, just as much as I am the copper. I think I got it in a very crud manner. Let's see. I bet I can hook this up and do a test power on and get, because the red is not the one that I was concerned about, it's the blue. So in theory, if I got that connection, I should be able to get a blue LED powering this on. Oh good, I have enough cord I can, okay. And can we do this without shorting anything out and breaking it all? That's the eject. That's okay. I get blue and red actually, so it can tell something's wrong. But the point being, I got blue and red, so I am quite happy about that. That means I've made the connection. So not so much disaster averted, just major pain in my behind diverted. Alright, slide you across. Let's get this other LED in, and of course I gotta remember this one was the opposite. So red was the top one, so this one, the red's gonna be the bottom. I wonder if I can show this. Whoop. So there it is. There's the 3 holes. There's the blurry pins. I've got the red on the bottom. Let's line them up. These ones look like they're more clear of solder. Yeah, I was going to try and get it on camera, but too much manipulating. I can't see what I'm doing. So we'll do it out here. Same deal. I got the LED just sitting out at the edge, and all right, maintain. Whoa, don't twist. Stools don't talk. Stools don't talk. Okay. And, whoa, and twist myself up in there. So I've got moderate, well, light pressure on the LED. Melt the solder where the pins come through, and hopefully it will start to slide for me. Come on. Yay? Nay? All right, there we go. Once again, push through. Let's angle it the way we want. That one's there. This one should be much easier to deal with because I didn't tear the pads off. No, I bent the pins a little more than than a 90, and I'm hoping that helps hold the LED in place while I haphazardly glob solder onto the back edge of this thing. Yeah, if I could keep my arm out of the way of the light source, this would be much cleaner video in that little corner there. Alright, so soldering around on the back. There we go. And on the other LED, I didn't do proper soldering technique where you actually, put your heat source behind what you're soldering and then feed your solder in, and then you get a much cleaner joint. And that all from a reached out standpoint looks really good. Okay, yeah, to me that looks pretty good, not counting the melting. Let's put this sucker back together. Yeah, probably not a good idea to just willy-nilly clip like that, and you obviously didn't see it on camera, but all the little legs went flying this way over the exposed Xbox, and if any landed in there, yeah, it probably could kill the stupid thing, and then I'd feel like a real idiot. Okay, let's put this guy back together and see what we can do. See if I can get it to light up without getting the flashing. I mean, the flashing is an indicator, I'm not worried about it right now. I got it so disassembled, it should flash. Alright. Got that clip back in. It's looking good. Buttons push. Feels good. Push this guy through the hole. And look at that. Something I missed. There are tabs on the bottom edge here, which means they clip through. Yeah, look at that. They clip through these 3 holes, and so that's how this secures in. So I got lucky. Interesting. I wonder how removing the screws from the USB port helped free that up, since they're not directly linked. But hey, I didn't break it. I'm not going to knock it. Got that plugged back in. Plug the front panel back in. And let's add in everything else we need, more or less. I have on numerous occasions forgot to put, oh, well, doesn't even matter. I was going to put the little RF shield that's on the front of the DVD drive back, but in looking at the DVD drive, I don't have the cage, or I don't have it secured in the cage, and I've just been haphazardly setting it in there. Well, here, there's our little cover piece. You, my friend, are going to be here, I believe. Yeah. Wow, making a mess of this. I don't remember what day it was. Okay, there we go. Got the pins lined back up. The clips right there. Clip, clip. Yeah, if this isn't a testament to how resilient these devices are, I don't know what is. Seeing as how I've really abused the electronics here just by keeping everything hooked and winging it around. And now, someone sent me or shared a link in one of the video comments, and if I didn't have my hands in the Xbox, I'd try and look it up right now, which went over folding the DVD, or folding the 80-pin IDE cable so that it would fit in nice and clean, and it was a very good resource. You know, took a gander at it, and it looked like you get some much cleaner results than just having it all like that. Probably won't get to it for day 19, but I will look it up and give a shout out on day 20. Okay, throw our power in. I'm going to reroute the power cord all the way through. And doing this from an angle once again. Alright. Holy crud, this is going to be like the longest video I've ever made. 24 minutes on this section. Good lord. Alright. That's in. That's... Oh, hey, I know why it was flashing. No video. It detects that before anything else, doesn't it? Okay. Put this here. Kind of set this guy off to the side. Alright, let's hope for the best. One blue, one red. Does that mean I put the stupid thing in upside down? The one that I was worried about, that one's coming up. This one's coming up red. That means I put the stupid thing in upside down. That is, for the most part, quite hilarious as far as I'm concerned. I wish the camera, you know, wouldn't, yeah, and you get a very distinct blue to red. Let's see if we can get a better shot of that. No, it's just too darn bright. Yeah, I was thinking, oh, maybe it'll kind of blend to a purple, but no, it's blue, red. Okay. Well, I'm not going to bore everybody with me fixing that. I mean, I'm obviously going to fix it, but I think I'm going to thank everyone for watching, and I look forward to seeing you on day 20, where, you know, I don't have a plan for day 20. I don't really consider that I'm done with all the DVD drive junk I was doing, because there are some Samsung DVD drives, evidently, that you can get and do a BIOS flash on, and then put basically a PC-based DVD drive, and these are PC-based, but I mean, one that was directly from a PC right into an Xbox and get better reads and reliability. Evidently they're faster drives too. And at first I didn't think I wanted to do it, but the more I think about it, the more I think I want to do that. So I'll mull that over, and yeah, no, you know, I feel guilty. All right, I'm going to disassemble. Well, okay. So I'll mull that over, and that might be what we're doing on day 20. And what I'll do now is I'm going to tear this sucker apart, fix that. Once I got it fixed and put back together, I'll share the triumphant video. And if not, then I'll share why it's not working. Thank you.